spent 10 years in prison, been out a few years. And when it comes to showering in a female prison, there are definitely some rules that you must follow, because if you do not, some things could happen that you're not going to like. First, don't shower too aggressively. The showers are an open, long stall, okay? And it's this big stall with 8 to 9 shower heads, and then there's like 4 communal drains in between them all, and there's a wall in front of you, but basically you guys are all lined up one next to the other, and so at any time there's going to be 6 to 8 women in there. If you're showering aggressively and you're just flinging your washcloth and your soap's flying everywhere and all that is, going in the air, someone's going to get pissed off, baby. I promise you that. Because who wants somebody else's dirty shower water bouncing off of their skin? You know what I mean? It's gross. So yeah, you just don't want to fling. You don't want to move too much. You just don't want to be aggressive. You want to shower as contained in your little 1 to 2 foot space as possible if you don't want to get in a fight, okay? Moving right along. Don't stare at anybody too long. There's 2 reasons for this. Number 1 is if you're staring at someone too long, it could be taken as a sexual advance, and you might be fighting somebody's girlfriend when you get out of the shower, because best believe if you're staring at someone and they're naked and that person has a girlfriend, they're going to go tell their girlfriend, okay? And when they tell their girlfriend is probably going to confront you, and you might have to fight. So don't stare at anybody. If you see a tattoo you like, if you see a body, that you want to compliment, or whatever the case may be, just be mindful if you get caught staring, because sometimes you can't help it. Just try to kind of like recover in the moment and be like, oh, I really like your tattoo, or you have a really nice shape or something, but try not to make it look sexual in nature, because you're probably going to have to answer to somebody for that, and it's not going to be pretty. The next reason is also not staring at somebody, but it's for a little bit of a different issue. So if you stare at someone too long, they might be self-conscious about something. They might, have an issue. They might be angry at the moment, and they might take it like you're checking them, like you're trying them, you're sizing them up. That's like what we would say. Like, why are you sizing me up? Like, what's up? Why are you staring at me? That's what they're going to say. What's up? So you don't want to stare at anybody, because even if it's innocent, even if you're just dazing, you're just ghosting out, if you stare at someone too long, it's most of the time not going to be taken as a compliment or as you were just dazed out. It's going to be taken as you are sizing someone up to fight them, or you're trying them, okay? And you don't want to do that, because in the shower, when you're both wet and naked, it's just like fights happen, but it's not the most, it's not the best situation to be fighting in. A lot of slipping, a lot of head hitting, tile, concrete. You don't want that, okay? Next, probably pretty obvious one, wear shower slides at all times. If you don't wear shower slides, you're very likely to get an infection, but if you don't get an infection, you are 100% going to get somebody's dirty water, pee, or period blood on you. Remember the drains, there's not 1 to every shower stall, there's like 4 in between, and they're communal drains. So if you are unlucky to be by one of the drains, everything from everybody around you is going to trickle down to that drain that's by your feet, and it's just gross. Like, you don't want that. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. Like, wear shower slides at all costs. This one I really had an issue with, and I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I had a few words about this issue several times during my sentence, but I think finally most of the people that knew me just gave up, because this was not something I could change or help. Like, I could not help this. I wanted to get the dirty prison off of me, but hindsight is 20/20, and in retrospect, if you're trying to be considerate and you really don't want any issues, especially if you're new, don't take too long, okay? Everybody only has a limited amount of time to shower. The whole dorm only has certain hours to shower. Most of the times they'll turn them on at 4, sometimes it's 5, but then you have to be out of the showers by most of the time 9:45 count. So you really only have maybe maximum, if you have a good officer, 5 hours for between 60 to 90 women to all shower. So you really respectfully should just get in there, do your business, wash your parts, and get on out. But if you want to wash your hair, shave, and do all that, get your biddies and whatever, You probably need to try to get in there at a time when you know people aren't in there. If you want to take a longer shower, baby, do not get in there between 5 and 8 because there's going to be a line and people are going to talk shit. And one thing people will fight about is lines, okay? Lines are a big deal in prison, and if you are bucking a line or, taking up a spot in a line or whatever in a line, especially if you're taking too long and holding up the line, someone might try to fight you. To piggyback off of that, don't buck the shower line. When I say don't buck the shower line, it means don't cut, don't skip, don't try to bully your way in. Find the end of the shower line. You go to the person in the shower. You say, hey, Jessica, who's behind you? Jill's behind me. Okay, you go to Jill. Jill, who's behind you? Amanda's behind me. You go to Amanda. Amanda, who's behind you? Sarah's behind me. Sarah, who's behind you? Keisha's behind me. Go to Keisha. If you have to go to 30 people, baby, you just have to go to 30 people, okay? Because you have to find the end of the shower line. If you get in and you buck the shower line, you see somebody get out and nobody's in there yet because, it's going to take them a minute or two to get there. If you get in, it's likely you're going to get shower checked, which means someone's going to walk in, turn the water off on you and say, okay, you can either get out. I don't care if you have suds all over you and shampoo in your hair. You can get out, or you can turn the shower water back on and see what happens. So if you don't want to fight over the shower, find the end of the shower line and wait your damn turn, or, be there when the shower line starts and try to call it, one of the first ones to call it. Hey, I got shower 7 after count, something like that, or put your bag on the shower, because that's the only way that you're not going to get into an altercation or a confrontation over the shower line. So get at the end, okay? Last but certainly not least, do not, under any circumstances, leave your things unattended in the shower area. Don't be, someone that your mind is all over the place and ADD is kicking in and you forget your stuff in there because, honey, you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. Period, point blank. Do not leave your stuff unattended. Now, there is one exception to that, which is if you want to take your shower bag and place it on the shower wall to hold your shower spot for after count, you can do that because everybody's stuff will be up there. But do not, under any circumstances, just leave your stuff in there and think that someone's going to give it back. There are nice people who will be like, hey, did somebody leave a white shirt in the bathroom? Hey, did somebody leave a bag in stall, 7, something like that. But that's few and far between. So if you leave it in there, just chalk it up as a loss. And this is just a little bonus shower rule. Showers are the most common place, and I have said this in other videos, to do the nasty and to smoke cigarettes or do drugs, okay? That's because in 2014 or somewhere around there, they put cameras in all the prisons, okay? And when they did that, it kind of stopped a lot of the activities that were going on. But they did not put cameras in the showers for obvious reasons, because, obvious reasons. So there's no cameras in there, so anything that needs to be done in secrecy is done in there. If you're going to go in there and do the nasty, or do any kind of drug or smoking activity, make sure you scan that shower and see who's in there. Because if you have a Miss Shirley in there, Miss Shirley was a lady in prison with us, y'all, and she's telling on everything, okay? But if you have somebody in that shower that's elderly, that has asthma, that, is just totally against drugs or smoking or something like that, you have to be mindful and respect the fact that they're not with that. So if you see someone in there that doesn't like cigarette smoke or drug use or any kind of homosexual, activity or whatever, you need to say, hey, Miss Shirley, did you just get in, or are you about to get out, or what's up? Because if you ask that person when they're getting out, they know that you're trying to do something and they will respect that. But if you just go in there and say, bump it, I don't care, I'm about to do what I want to do. It's, you don't own this space, because some people do that. That's fine. Go ahead and do your business. But you can be sure as hell that Miss Shirley or whomever else is in there that didn't want you to do it, they no longer respect you. And not only are they going to tell on you that time, but they're also going to tell on you every time after. So be sure to respect people's, whatever their mindset is about whatever it is they don't like. Get to know the people that you live with, and don't do things like have sexual moments or smoking or any kind of drugs while those people that don't like that are in there, okay? I promise it will take you a long way to respect people's preferences in prison. A lot of times they'll end up looking out for you, but if you don't respect them, you will gain an enemy. And enemies in prison don't just target you that one day. They don't just get their revenge, on you and keep it moving. They will target your ass every time they see you doing something, okay? Don't do it. So yeah, my friends, those are the prison shower rules. Love you. See you later.